All right, take 47. Welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition. Choir Boys Cutler Outdoors. Scab's Feeling Better rendition. A Thank You, Brandon Thrasher rendition. We've got some shit to talk about rendition. Getting ready for Hurricane Ian rendition. I think I'm going to make it rendition. That's a badass night. Before we get into any of it, guys, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now, stats show that number's going down. However, anything above zero is simply unacceptable. Vets, you are welcome here. We love you. You have a place here. We're back to blue over here. We support Leo. How do you do that, Scab? Well, we don't break the damn law. When we do, because we have, we accept responsibility for it. And finally, if you're an addict, never quit quitting. Okay. So, as many of you know, and I want to start this video out with this. To every single person who sent messages, prayers, thoughts, all, thank you. Thank you so, so very much. This thing has kicked my ass. Sunday afternoon, or Saturday night, before I went to bed, I started feeling poorly. By Sunday morning, I was feeling really poorly. And by 2 o'clock Sunday, I had to go to the ER. Now, for me, I never do that. That's not anything that I want to do. But things were in such a way that I needed to. And what they decided at that point was to put me on some antibiotics. And the doctor said, look, you're not going to feel good for a couple days. And she was 1,000% right. I actually, just up until a little while ago, felt pretty bad. What I'd had is I had a bunch of shorts. I would wake up, feel good for about 10 minutes, make a bunch of shorts. But we're coming out of it. Now, I'm going to take work off tomorrow. Thursday, the hurricane will be here, tropical storm, whatever it is. And where we sit, just so all you guys know, where we sit in Florida, we sit just below Jacksonville, Florida. Okay? So, we're probably going to get hit more with tropical storm stuff. We might lose power. But here's the deal. Jimbo's 2 or 3 streets that way. Kirk's 2 or 3 streets that way. We got grills. We got food. We got water. We got fishing poles. We'll be okay. We really will. To all my Blade brothers and sisters down in that Tampa, Sarasota area in the middle of the state, man, my thoughts, my prayers are with you. It's going to get rough. Hunker down. And guys, everybody in this community, when this thing's over, let's rally together and help who we can help. See, that's what we do. That's what people don't get down here. People talk all kind of stupid shit about Florida that don't know what they're talking about. Here's what will happen. Now, you'll see this crap on Facebook. You'll say, I'll tell you what, they come on my shut up. Shut up. What'll happen is when the hurricane passes through, everybody walks out of their house and starts walking the neighborhood to see what they can do to help, to see who needs what, make sure the kids, the elderly are okay. That's what we do down here. We help each other out. All this other dumb shit and all other jokes, y'all can shove at. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, we're going to help our own. And we're going to help people. That's what's going to happen. Somebody comes up in my yard and needs something, I'm going to give it to them. Because that's what you do. All this other, I get so tired of that fake treat, tough guy crap. Anyway, I'll get on a tear. Lola, don't come in here, start no problem. The dogs have been fantastic too, in case you're wondering. This is the Spartan Harvey folder. It is a grill knife. It has been a grill knife of mine for a long time. Why? It just has been. Okay? I wrote some stats down because this is seriously about the 15th time I've tried to start. I've cussed people out on videos. I've thrown stuff. It's been a rough ride. So we're just going to go. Usually I try to act like I know what I'm talking about. The blade length on this is 4 inches. Also, I have 2 hard use videos on the Spartan Harvey folder. The blade length's 4 inches. Overall length is 8 13/16. It's PVD coated. Let me say this, as a guy with coatings in his background, and that's what I do professionally, nobody does coatings like Spartan. They just don't. That is a professional opinion. No, I'm not a novice with that. I've done powder coating, sandblasting, and that for 2-3 decades, okay? Spartan Blades does a phenomenal job. If you had a knife that the coating fell off, Spartan didn't make it. Sorry. And they'll tell you that. Now, moving on. Blade thickness, 0.154. That's the blade thickness. The handle thickness is half an inch. You can see that right there. CPM S45VN with a 59 to 61. A little harder heat treat there, not a bad thing. The frame is 6AL 4V titanium. Now, it looks slick, it's not. Or it's not to me. It works. So you've got jimping here. Let me just say this to you guys, and the weight is 5.88 ounces. It's a little heavier folder, but here's the thing. Let me say this again, 5.88 ounces. It's a little heavier folder, but as someone who literally carries big folders all the time, not a big deal for me. If weight's an issue for you, this one might be, but it's a great folder. It's very smooth. It opens and closes smooth, and it gets the job done. Now, here's the deal. It's a GRAIL knife because it's my GRAIL knife. And Brandon Thrasher, thank you. Thrash gave this to me, and I'm going to tell you, I will cherish this my entire life. I love Bill Harvey. He's an awesome guy. He's one of the best designers of all time. There's no arguing that. There's zero arguing that. Brother Bill is an amazing knife maker and knife designer. He has 30, 40 years in this stuff, and he is a complete and total gentleman. And this is, I would say, one of his masterpieces. Now, to me, his best fixed blade is the Defensa from Spartan. But this Spartan Harvey folder, like I said, Brandon sent me a box of knives to test. I've sent them on up to DBAD, so you're going to get 2 rounds of good hard use testing, 2 different opinions on them. Donnie takes more of a designer approach. I simply take an approach, and I want to explain this. My approach is this: does the knife work? I don't care how it looks. Now, do I have a style that I like? Yes, this or this, right? This is the Billy Waugh demo. Bill Harvey, Robert Young Pelton collabed with Billy Waugh. Billy Waugh was the oldest CIA paramilitary fighter ever dropped behind enemy lines in U.S. history. Billy Waugh at 71 was dropped into Afghanistan. This is what Billy Waugh said he would carry. I am sorry, but whatever Billy Waugh would carry, I will carry. Now, they're not dropping my fat ass behind enemy lines anytime soon. I'm just saying, if it's good enough for Billy Waugh, it is. This is what I like. But I don't focus on the aesthetics of the knife for the review. What I try to focus on for the review is, does the knife work? Everybody has a little different nuance and a different take on how they review knives. They just do. That's what makes this whole knife thing go. This is the Medford Praetorian T. This is a gift from Captain Electro. Now, guys, there's going to be a lot of shout outs in this video. Captain Electro is a guy you need to be subscribed to. He is a critical thinker. He's a very intelligent man. He very much has a engineer's mind. He has started making knives, and you mark my words, you can take this video and do it. I guarantee you it won't be long. Cap will be selling them and selling quality. He's just got that brain. He likes figuring things out. He's working on, looks like, some Quaking styles. I promise you, I will be a customer of Cap's. But this is a Medford Praetorian T. Titanium handle scales. Here's the deal, guys. Some people don't like the way it feels. It feels like titanium. It's quality. These things, and let me just say this about Medford. S90V, a little more difficult to sharpen, but this thing, DJ sharpened this up. I did a hard use review, Donnie did a hard use review, and then I sent it to DJ, and I'm telling you right now, that thing's had an edge. I don't know how long ago he did it, but good Lord, it's just like the day he did it. So, let me say this about Medford too, and we're not going to be super duper long, maybe 15, 20 minutes, something like that, but here's the deal. When Joe and I had Medford on Blade Talk with Scab and Joe, that changed my whole way I looked at YouTube. It really did. I don't care if you like him. I don't care if you don't. Don't give a shit. I really don't. Don't give a shit. He inspired me. He fired me up. He's passionate about knives. I've always been, but I've always held it back a little bit. After interviewing Medford, and you can ask Joe about this. Joe with Steel Forged and Fire, sword and knife. You can ask Joe. I've been on fire ever since we interviewed Medford. Why? Because he's passionate about what he does. At 40 years old, he stepped out and he made a change. He's not embarrassed to be passionate about it. And from that day on, I decided that I was going to go into this full tilt, full bore, and we're going to do the best we can do. Now, I love my job. Love my job. And my job, All Metal Fab, they've been excellent to me, man. excellent to me. And I can see myself finishing up my career there. So what I'm saying to you is I'm going to dive into YouTube. I'm going to go as hard as I can. I'm going to work as hard as I can. I'm going to put out all the content I can. And let me say this. I know a lot of people don't like shorts, and I'm sorry. But shorts have netted me 7,000 subscribers. By in the morning time or by lunch tomorrow on Wednesday, we'll go over 13,000. That's due to shorts, guys. I'm not apologizing for that. And I've had people say, well, I'm just not going to copy anybody. Well, you sit right where you at and you enjoy it. Good luck to you. And if you don't like copying me, you ain't. Because I didn't invent shorts. I ain't the first one to do shorts. But if you think I'm going to sit here and not do everything I can, see, Megan sacrifices. We're going to go off a little tangent here because I still don't feel real good. So I can always blame it on that if somebody gets mad. But you know what? People get mad. Here the last couple of months, they mad at everything, get mad at it. So keep getting mad. I don't give a shit. We rolling on. Megan sacrifices her time, her energy. She does extra around here so I can do this shit. So I owe it to her to do everything that I can do to make this go. And that's what I'm going to do. And this ain't no apologize or make an excuse for it. I'm just setting it down. This is my manifesto. From this point forward, CCO is going forward. You go with, you sit home, don't give a shit, but we going on. We're going to do the best reviews we can. We're going to give the most honest reviews we can. We're going to stick to our word. We're going to tell the truth, and we're going to do what's right. That's what we're going to do. And if it means putting out 10,000 shorts and getting called fat in every language, including sign language across the world, that's what we're going to do until one day this thing hits and I can do some real good for some people. That being said, I had a guy blast me about I didn't do anything for vets. I wasn't a vet. I should keep my mouth shut about vets. He hated me. He hoped I died. He hoped my whole family died in rotten hell. Now, if he wasn't a disabled vet, we'd have a problem. I have no problems being a whipping post, but that's where that's going to end, because let me explain something to you. I don't shout out vet, and I made a name on vets. You out your mind, buddy Rowe. All I've ever wanted to do with the whole veterans thing is say, hey, look, guys, there's 22 veterans a day committing suicide, and that should be criminal in the United States of America that goes on, and we sit on our hands and we do nothing. That's why we do raffles. That's why we spread the word. And the guy said, well, I never do anything vets. What he meant to say was I never do anything for him. Okay? So, I'm not mad at the dude. He goes around, and he accused me of removing his post. No, sir, I don't. But when you use racial epithets all over YouTube, they're going to. And you can call it censorship. You can call it whatever. Maybe you ought to, well, that being said, that's why in the intro when we bring up the vet, we're trying to raise awareness. I will do anything I can at any point in time I can. That's why I sacrifice my time to do the veterans raffle. That's why I paid every dime out of my pocket on the shipping on the veterans raffle. That's why no money comes into Choir Boys Cutlery or to Joe or to anybody else except the charity, which we are not affiliated with. So when we do these things, we lose money. That's fine. Because if it helps one person, then it's worth it. If we can help that one, that's why we do it. Okay? We'll make a name off of that. You know how much bullshit I take over that? Moving on. This is the Italian Formax, and yeah, there's going to be some tangents. It'll be all right. This is the Italian Formax. This one came from D-Bad. There's a whole video on the whole saga. I wound up buying Donnie a brand new one. I lost this one, thought I lost it. It fell down in the dashboard of my truck, and on the day before I was shipping Donnie out his new one, this literally rolled out of the bottom of my dashboard, which is kind of crazy, but it's cool. So this one came from my brother D-Bad, who I love dearly, and I will keep it and I'll cherish it. Plus, it's a badass knife. Now, a lot of people will say, well, I got the Scout. Well, you got a great knife. You really, really do. The Formax Scout is awesome, but there's just something to me about this one that I love. And then finally, on the grill front, we're going to move on, is I just picked this one up from my dude Paul. He's a Warrior Bully on Instagram. This knife right here, speaking of shorts, this knife right here has a video that has over 3 million views on, which is insane because all I do is pull it out of my pocket. It's the worst profile of me ever made. But This is the Cold Steel Spot, and I'm showing you these knives. These are all, none of these knives are cheap, okay? None of them are cheap. I'm not showing you to them. I'm not showing them to you because of their cost. I'm showing them to you because they would be GRAILS for me. And without people helping me out or cutting me a break or gifts, I wouldn't have them. But I love them. I've wanted one of these since the first time I laid eyes on it in cold steel. Is it practical? Y'all know it ain't. Good Lord. Is it fun? Yeah. And I get a lot of comment too. It's crap. No, it's not crap. It's a well-built, solid blade that you could turn around with that triad lock. It's got those beautiful G10 handle scales. Now, I'm sorry. I've drawn a blank. This is the nicer handle scales. I've drawn a complete blank. I don't think they're it might be micarta. I'll get somebody put in the comments what it is. I have the one with the grippy G10. This might be polished G10 or micarta, but this is S35VN. The other one's AUS 10A. Both are great knives. Both have wave technology. Both have triad locks. Both you could put a Kydex sheath on and use as fixed blades and have mini machetes. But these are just knives that I love, guys. They're knives I love. Now, I mentioned the subscriber explosion. And I said a while back, every 500, we're going to give one of these away, right? Now, Donnie's hit me up, and Meg said, hey, maybe you ought to go to every 1,000. Here's the deal, guys. 7,000 subscribers, that's 14 of these. Now, I've bought some, and what I don't have $1,600, $1,700 to buy them all at once. I just don't, especially missing these 2-3 days of work, and with that hurricane coming, that's probably going to miss more. However, what I am going to do is be a man of my word. I've got it written down what I got coming in, and to Knife Candy 101, my brother, it's been a fiasco trying to get one in for you, but as soon as it comes in, and I want this on record, Knife Candy 101 will be the first person to get a preacher. Garen Pandaloop will be the second, and we'll go from there. And I ordered Tom Ritter's War Machine for D-Bad's 10,000. Now, real quick, basically I'm saying that to say, guys, I'm going to do my dead level best to get caught up on that, but it's going to take a few months. It is what it is, especially if we keep growing that way. I want to hold to my word. I'm going to hold to my word. It's just going to have to be when I get it, okay? It is what it is. Couple quick shout-outs, and we'll call it a day. Andrew Mata. Freedom Frog Gear shouted this guy out, did a crazy cool shout out for him, and I went and watched some of Andrew's content. I loved it. He's a good dude. Check him out. Listen, all these guys are going to be in my community tab. If you go to YouTube and you tap Choir Boys Cutler Outdoors on this video, just go down, hit Choir Boys Cutler Outdoors, go over to my community page, you'll see a litany of folks that I've done shout outs on. Don't just skip through those guys, because there's some good quality content creators there that I think you'll like. Andrew Mata, M-O-T-T-A, is a great one. Pistol Pete, y'all know Pete. We're trying to get Pete to 1,000. Go subscribe to him. My guy Bushcrafter, that's all it is. And if you look in the comments, I promise you he'll be there. Hit it, hit subscribe. He's in Germany. I love the guy's content. And then, of course, the Vlads. Miss Vlad, M-I-S-S-V-L-A-D. And then Vlad, and I always forget that last, but you know exactly who I'm talking to. They are in that community tab. Please check that out. And then the Angry Dracula. He's doing a series on a war museum. Fantastic job. Guy's doing an awesome job. Check him out. And then Donnie B all day. Donnie's marching. Donnie is putting out content. He's slamming, he's bamming, he's putting in that work. My guy Joe, Steel Forged and Fire, Sword and Knife. Check him out, man. He's a good one to check out. And then Grugsy, Legion Tactical. Get over there. Isaac the Noob. There's a lot of guys. And over these next few days, now, I don't think I'm going to work tomorrow, so I don't think it will be appropriate to go out and try to do hard-use knife reviews. I think that's disrespectful. And I don't know that I can hold up to it because I'm running out of juice here. But at the end of this week, guys, we'll start getting caught up with everything. I've got a little cool knife here from D-Bad. It's the Mag Blade. I've never been good with a balisong, and it's just kind of a different concept. it's sharp as shit, and it's kind of cool. So we got these. We got a lot of folders. We probably got 7 to 8 folders coming up. I've got those 4, the Hollow King, the Cavias, the Famine, and the Dren Gear. 4 badass work tough gear, just wicked weapons coming up. Well, guys, listen, I love y'all. God bless y'all. Thank you for everything. Special shout out to Mike Curtis, Dabney W, Armored Sweatpants, Jesse No Last Name, the Vlads, Bushcrafter, and I feel like I'm missing somebody, but if I'm leaving you out, these folks are commenting on every single short. Thank you so much. I just want to say again, guys, I know some of y'all don't like the shorts, but they're working. But to you guys who comment on every one, you don't have to. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. I will not be upset. But to those of you who do, thank you. I'm Scab. You're not. I'm gone, son.